Remember COVID? Remember what it felt like? Are you sure? This brings it back. And hello, everyone. It's Tom. It's FANzine Live. It is time to look at a world zine. This one coming out of our friends at Kush in Riga, Latvia. However, the creators, Ray and Heathcock, apparently are coming out of the United Kingdom. And this is called Grandad Reg. It's a mini Kush, number 103, released in January of 2022. I picked this up at Zao in Prague, and it is a remarkably powerful little mini comic. It says here, switching between 90s era Birmingham and modern day London, this short comic tells a story of losing someone in trying to process grief at a time when there are no funerals. Like grieving itself, this all too relatable story is by turns melancholic and muted, vivid and uplifting. This is a story of Grandad Reg, who passed away during COVID. And I found it fascinating in the sense that COVID really wasn't that long ago, but the feelings and the emotions that happened during COVID as depicted in here, honest to God, everyone, I think I've tried to block it out of my mind. And this brought a lot of it back. And I'm not saying in a traumatic way, but it just, I didn't want to have to relive it. And so reliving it through here really makes you reflect on how good we have it these days. So let's take a look. Grandad Reg. As you can see, the art is very simple. It is hand done, clearly. But you can also see there's an element of collage thrown in. Some of these tomatoes here are they look like photographs to me, and I think that shovel is as well. It says, like many people, I lost a family member during the first wave of the pandemic. My granddad, Reg, died of coronavirus on the 10th of April, 2020. I do love the color in here. And I should just say, before I get too far through, Kush, their production values are so good. This is just a wonderful looking book. And even though it's a mini comic, it is just gorgeous. So it says, Grandad Reg died of coronavirus on the 10th of April, 2020. I was close to him growing up. He would collect us from school every Wednesday. Kids always used to race out to join the huge queue for the ice cream van that the enterprising owner parked right by the gate. But on a Wednesday, me and my sister didn't have to worry about all that. I like how the imagery is just raw enough, just simple enough that you can tell what's going on, but at the same time, there's a very hand-done feel to this. Grandad was always one step ahead. He used to arrive 5 minutes before school finished and buy 2 ice creams for us. He would time it perfectly so that they were ready to eat as soon as we got out. The best way I can describe the experience of losing someone during lockdown is strange. Maybe it would be better to say how it was strange how life went on perfectly normal. Usually when someone dies, things start happening. You go and spend time with other people who are close to the deceased. You have a funeral. But it's hard to feel like anything important has really happened when everything stays exactly the same. I love this progression here. Rather than showing the imagery of the rituals that you go through in the funeral and the grieving process, instead, she just shows sitting on the couch like we all did during COVID, just waiting for it to be over. I was not allowed to travel or see my family in another city or see my friends close by. Even leaving the flat to go out to the supermarket was a risk. As the weather improved, I started spending more time in the garden, occupying myself playing old childhood games. He loves me not, he loves me. A month passed, but because I hadn't been home and seen for myself that Granddad wasn't there. He is really dead. He isn't really dead. He is really dead. He isn't really dead. I was still finding it hard to make myself believe that things had actually changed. When I was younger and more pretentious, I used to turn my nose up at people who relied on normie rituals to mark big life changes. And you got your wedding here. If you need a big white wedding, then it isn't real love, she says. I'm usually not a big fan of computer typesetting, like obvious computer typesetting, because I use computer typesetting that looks like handwriting, hand lettering. And this is just standard typesetting. I think though with this, it works largely because of the almost a chaotic, hyper colorful setup with these pages. You almost need the lettering to be just plain and easy to read so that you can really soak in that art. That's really important. True emotion ran deep and was something you felt your way through alone. For me, things started getting a little better when I accepted we all needed private processing time and public rituals to make sense of big things happening. I started allowing myself a few sentimental routines to remember Granddad by. Notice she's in black there. I wonder if she was in the prior. Nope. She's in black there. Happy routines as well as sad ones. Got the ice cream. Talking to other people about what happened, even remotely, helped make it feel a bit more real. So did putting in time and effort into the things I know we always used to enjoy and thinking of him while I did it. This has been such a surreal time for so many of us. I know I am not alone, that we are all trying our best to make sense of things. Reg Heathcock, 1929 to 2020. Love that ending there with the kind of ethereal cloud type imagery of Grandad Reg against the tomato garden, which clearly was part of his life, and that the writer here is trying to continue on. Neat book. As I said, it's interesting in that we have these mini comics and zines to document a really strange period in our history with COVID and the human impact of COVID. And it takes zines like this to do it, and it does it so well. So that's Grandad Reg. It's Mini Koosh. I'll have information on it in the comments, in the show notes. And I would love for you to throw in some comments. This idea of COVID era zines and how we coped with COVID through our zines is really intriguing. And I would love to see if anybody has some suggestions on other zines that might portray it as appropriately as Grandad Reg here. So leave comments about that, about what this made you feel, but also make sure you like the video, subscribe to FANzine Live. We're all in this together, having lots of fun, and sometimes you just get a great little zine like Grandad Reg. So that's it for now, everybody. Thank you for watching. This has been FANzine Live World Zines, and I will catch you next time.